morning, and thanks for tuning in to Redeeming Time. Today's broadcast and the next few will be dedicated to Adam Hoare. Adam is presently serving in Iraq. He's going back now, I believe, maybe the second or third time that he is over there. And his father and siblings live in Gloucester. I consider it a privilege to be Adam's pastor and his father's pastor, and not only have them in this church, but also to have them as friends. To me, they're heroes. Heroes. As I talked about heroes yesterday, anyone who puts on that uniform in the service of this country is a hero. But as I look in the book of 2 Timothy, as you take your Bible, you consider the book of 2 Timothy, I see some parallels between the good soldiers that we have serving in our country today and the good soldiers that God admonishes the children of God to be as good soldiers. What a parallel. And Paul is writing to Timothy and challenging him to be a good soldier of Jesus Christ. But I'd have you to note in the very beginning, it says here, this is how he expressed himself as he was writing to Timothy. He says in 2 Timothy chapter 1 and verse 3, he says, Timothy, I thank God for you. He is a God I serve with a clear conscience, just as my ancestors did. Night and day I constantly remember you in my prayers. I long to see you again, for I remember your tears as we parted, and I will be filled with joy when we are together again. Boy, doesn't that sound like a parent? Every parent that's had to say goodbye to their children and send them off into harm's way. Oh, how they must have felt just like that. They love them. They appreciate them. And they long to see them again. But they have to let them go because they know that they have a higher calling, that their nation is calling. I can relate to this in that my mother and my father, I had myself and two other brothers during the time of Vietnam. And my mother and father had to go to the airport and say goodbye to each one of us as we were departing and flying away from home. They didn't know whether we were ever going to be coming back again. It could be the last time that they would ever see us. But you know what? My mother did not cling to us and cry and weep as we were departing and leaving to go. Because they knew, and she knew, we had a higher calling. Our nation was calling us to serve. And it was hard enough for us to leave, let alone to have to leave with somebody who was holding on and tears streaming down their eyes would have made it much, much more difficult. But we had to leave that comfort zone and move into the hazardous zone because there was a higher calling that had been placed upon us. Our nation had called. My mother not only had to do that, and my father had to do that on many occasions, but there came another time in my life that the Lord had placed a call upon me to move from Illinois to Maine. And when the time came to move from Illinois to Maine and the truck was all loaded up and everything was there, they didn't hold me back, but they recognized that there was a higher calling, there was a heavenly calling, and that I had to follow that divine calling. Yes, I was leaving the comforts of home and the comforts of that environment and moving to an area where I didn't know what was going to happen. But they didn't hold me back with their tears and cling to me. They let me go for a higher calling. And so it is. We have to appreciate these parents who let their children go off to a higher calling to serve the nation, to a higher calling to serve the Lord God Almighty. That we've got to acknowledge them and the love they have, but all the longing and the prayers that they have to see them come back. That would be the desire, and that was the desire that my folks had. But as it was that I was departing from Illinois to go to Maine, for some reason, I did have to turn around and come back after my mother had released me and said, all right, and gave her a hug and run on my way. I didn't see the tears at that point, but I had to come back. And when I came back, because I'd forgotten something, and I believe it was ordained of God, God wanted me to see just how much her heart was broken and how much of a sacrifice she had to give for me to leave with my wife and my 3 little sons, those precious grandkids that have been grown up there in her house every week. They saw their grandmother every week. I wanted them to know their grandmother and grandfather, and they were there every week. We would be there and spend time with them because I wanted them to know them. And my granddad did that traditional thing, and he would take my boys and he'd take them on the lawnmower with him and ride around and mow the grass. And we had pictures of that and the fishing poles and all those things. Can you imagine how her heart was breaking when she had to say goodbye to her son and say goodbye to her grandkids and say goodbye to that family, knowing that they'd be 1,200 miles away and they wouldn't see him very much anymore. I went back into the house. She didn't know what's coming. I didn't know I was going to be back. And there she was. I saw a scene that I would never want to repeat again. I saw the scene of our mother with tears streaming down her face, weeping in a corner, crying her heart out, because she was sacrificing her sons and her kids to a cause that was greater than herself. She willingly let us go without the tears. But God wanted me to see those tears, to see the sacrifice on that end. So yes, there's a sacrifice. There's a sacrifice that the parents sacrifice and lovingly allow their children to go off into harm's way, to a higher calling. I thank God, just as the text here, thank God for the heroes. The heroes are one that go and serve. And the heroes are the moms and dads who don't cling and cry and hold them back, but give their blessing as they recognize there's a higher calling. May God bless each and every one in Gray and the Gloucester and the surrounding communities. And may God bless all of those who are serving in our armed services and meet your needs according to His wisdom and grace. Always remember to cast all your cares upon Him because He cares for you.